Have you ever had that feeling? You look at your bank account after a totally normal month and just think, where did all my money go? You're making good money, you're not irresponsible, you don't blow it on crazy stuff, and yet somehow you feel like you're just treading water or worse, falling behind. Well, today we're going to dive into why that feeling is so incredibly common and lay out the new blueprint for actually building wealth. This is it, right? This is one of the biggest anxieties of our time. You log in, you see your salary, and the numbers just don't seem to match the stress you feel every day. If that's you, I want you to know you are not alone. This is the reality for millions of people who are doing everything they were told to do, but it feels like they just can't get ahead. So, what is going on here? Well, it turns out that what we've all come to accept as normal is actually a perfectly designed financial trap. And we're going to look at the hard numbers, because seeing how this trap is set is the absolute first step to breaking free from it. All right, first up, $9,000. That's the average credit card debt for a household in the US. Think about that. This isn't a mortgage for a house. This is high-interest debt, often for stuff that's long gone, and it's just quietly bleeding you dry, month after month. And it gets worse. The average payment on a new car, it's now over $700 a month. We're treating cars like they're a second mortgage, but it's for something that loses a huge chunk of its value the second you drive it away. It is literally the opposite of an investment. It's wealth destruction with cup holders. So what's the long-term damage of all this? Well, here it is. The median retirement savings, that's the middle-of-the-road number, is a shockingly low $65,000. Even for folks near retirement, it's only about $88,000. If you use the standard 4% rule for withdrawals, that's less than $300 a month. You can't make that math work. And here is the absolute knockout punch. The median household makes about $84,000 a year. But to comfortably buy a pretty standard $500,000 house today, you need an income of at least $150,000. This isn't someone's opinion. This is just cruel hard math. The quote-unquote normal path, it's broken. Okay, so that's the problem. And yeah, it sounds a little bleak. But here's where we pivot. Here's where the shift begins. And it starts with a number that, honestly, is way more important than $1 million. It's the first step in the blueprint, getting your first $10,000 in savings. But look, this isn't really about the money itself. It's about what the money creates. It creates this incredibly valuable thing called financial breathing room. It's that psychological freedom you get when you're not constantly one small emergency away from disaster. It is the foundation for every good decision you'll make from here on out, because you're finally not operating from a place of pure panic. Here's the perfect way to think about it. Without savings, that check engine light comes on in your car and it's a catastrophe, right? Your heart sinks, you're immediately stressed, thinking about credit cards, wondering how on earth you'll pay for it. But with that $10,000 buffer, the exact same event is just an annoyance, a minor inconvenience. That shift from disaster to annoyance, that changes your entire life. Having that safety net literally reduces your daily stress. It unlocks your brain to make better, long-term choices. Suddenly, you can actually see opportunities. Maybe it's a certification class or a small business idea, instead of just seeing threats everywhere. It gives you the confidence to take smart, calculated risks. It's the base camp you set up before you start climbing the mountain. Okay, so you've built that foundation. You've got your breathing room. Now it's time to build. And this is where the blueprint comes in. See, this is where so many people get it wrong. They try to jump to the sexy, exciting stuff, but there is a very specific, smartest order to put your money to work. And I really want you to burn this into your brain. The goal of building wealth is not to be clever. It's not about finding some secret stock pick. It is about discipline. It's about following a proven plan, step by step, without getting distracted. Honestly, the most successful people are often the most boring with their money. So, here it is. The blueprint. Let's walk through it. Step 1, build that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. That's your breathing room. It has to come first. Step 2, you attack high interest debt, anything over, say, 8%. We're talking credit cards. Why? Because paying off a 22% interest card is a guaranteed 22% return on your money. Nothing can promise you that. Step 3, get your full 401k match from your employer. This is literally free money, a 100% return instantly. Never, ever leave this on the table. Step 4, now you can start funding accounts like a Roth IRA or an HSA where your money can grow tax-free. This is a huge advantage over the long run. Step 5, after that, go back and max out that 401k if you can. And then finally, step 6, once all those other buckets are full to the brim, you start investing in a regular taxable brokerage account. That's the order. That's the whole game. Follow it. Now for the really, really fun part. Because if you follow that blueprint, you will eventually hit a milestone where the entire game changes. It's this magical point where your hard work starts to take a back seat and the math just takes over. We call this the $100,000 tipping point. The legendary investor Charlie Munger said it best. He said, "The first 100,000 is a bitch." And he was right. It's a total grind. It's packing lunches when you want to go out. It's saying no to things. But he was also right about what happens next. After you hit that number, the physics of your money fundamentally change. Just look at how compounding, that's your money earning its own money, starts to accelerate. Let's say you're saving $1,000 a month. That first 100K takes you over 6 years of grinding. But the second 100K, that only takes about 4 years. And the third, just over 3. That's because the boulder you've been pushing so hard is finally starting to roll downhill on its own. Let me put it another way. At $100,000, your money gets its own job. Assuming an average 8% return, your portfolio is now generating $8,000 a year by itself. That's almost $700 a month that shows up whether you get out of bed or not. Your money now has a salary and it works for you 24/7. And all of this, everything we've talked about, it all leads to a fundamental choice. A choice you have to make every single day with every single dollar. It is the choice between being wealthy and looking wealthy. See, the person who looks wealthy has the new truck, the designer logos, the perfect vacation photos for Instagram, but the person who is wealthy has no credit card debt, maxed out retirement accounts, and a growing portfolio that's quietly working for them in the background. And here's the truth. For most of us, especially at the beginning, you have to choose one. You can't do both. Every dollar you spend on your image is a dollar that isn't working for your future. So that's the final question I want to leave you with. I want you to take a hard, honest look at where your money is going. Is it working for your image today, or is it working for your future tomorrow? Because at the end of the day, one of those things is an illusion, and the other is real freedom. The choice is yours.